Yeah, nice fresh look here for NRG Academy. Of course, with them being, well, I've never showed that at this map before. Whereas for NRG Academy, this has been the tried and true comp that they've ran pretty much all split long, and they've played this map a lot. But I think most recently, Athena, we're looking back at the match versus Shopify Rebellion that the desk had pointed out to some troubles, especially on the defensive side, keeping things stable around the map.
Yeah, Shopify has been the only team that they've actually lost this Abyss map to, at least in Challengers. So overall, pretty good record on this map, and it is kind of like their bread and butter, where they like to set the pace. And this is where Stunna, a player like him, really shines on the Waylay. So looking to see if they've made any new innovations in order to bring this back to make sure that their defense side is super solid. But for NRG, again, this could be their wild card. Slowly working on it and immediately going super quick through this mid split.
Yeah, it's going to work out for one. Shondex trades out Pancake, so the numbers stay in favor of the attack. Stunna on site. Yeah, we'll retract back.
A fine death.
And that will be enough for Mitch to step up, find one. But up top of tower, that's the key position to hold on to. But Stunna's still good for at least a couple. And we get more fun in the pistol. Stunna is able to line up the headshots on the cross. 3 for him in the round, and EG take the opening pistol.
You know what's crazy is sometimes I say a player's name and I instantly curse them. And sometimes I say a player's name and they become God. So definitely a 50-50 for me as soon as I shout out any one of these players. But yes, Stunna proving himself on this Waylay, playing the way that he knows how to. Super quick, super dominant, just taking those 1v1s. The mechanics really allowing him to shine. And the desk, they talked a lot about Pancakes on this chamber, and we're already going to see a lot of that aggressive scope action. Pulling it out, playing on that B site alone. Stunna just whiffing that Waylay, but it's fine. They still have a lot of information towards this A site. And Zerona, he's just peeking through mid. NRG Academy looking into something a little bit more quicker towards that B site, but they're running right into this chamber and his setup.
Which is never fun, especially with the outlaw waiting. And you also have a reactionary rotation through mid for the defenders, so Pancakes will stay covered, wait for this to come through. Gadget is destroyed, but yeah, the help is here. And it looks like EG should be pretty comfortable here, unless something odd happens, like this flank from Shondex, which he hears all the footsteps, but just doesn't expect there to be two. So now you've got a post plant that's looking a little bit more fickle. Nova Pulse forces out Giza, and Ange, well, with the classic, you don't expect him to do much, and he will take the long fall down to the bottom of Abyss. 2-0 up for EG with a big bonus coming up next.
Super confident from EG. Really convincing win. They knew they just had to play those fast rotates. I really like that Zerona had all of mid for the first half of that. They were not afraid to take those 1v1s, and Pancake's doing a really good job just being really patient on that site, hiding from the dark, trusting that his teammates were going to come back and flood in right in time. And now they're on this bonus. Enough money to buy next round, even if they lose this. But for NRG Academy, we've seen them lose these rounds. We've seen both these teams kind of lose out on their bonus, win out on thrifties. It's been super crazy. And so I'm hoping to see a little bit more of a convincing round from them. The drone immediately scanning Zerona, getting all that information.
Ooh, tough battle here for Zerona. Has Stunna here for help, and the choke point in front of A will be held beautifully. Oh my. Plus, you also get the spike down at mid, and that leaves NRG Academy kind of scrambling here early, needing to find something to work with. Like, I don't even know what you do right now in this. I mean, you're 3v5 against a huge bonus. Good salvos, but Stunna is still watching the long angle, and NRG Academy are just stuck. Flat out, they're stuck.
Yeah, for a team like NRG Academy, when you have that Tejo, when you have the Sova, I feel like it's pretty easy to get a lot of that information, play off of it. The drone even scanning those close players, but they still opted to go towards that site, trying to make it just a brawl and making sure they're trading each other, but it did not work because, again, you're allowing EG to get those close range 1v1s, which is not what you want, especially with the amount of delay util that they have. Really not looking good for NRG right now.
Well, okay. I mean, I think the establishment from EG is going to be one that would have NRG Academy, especially never having played this in the competitive format of challengers to this point. If another round of guns go wrong, I imagine we're going to get a very early timeout here because EG have really established the tone, which is something we talked about in map 1 as well on Haven. But this feels a little different just based on the fact that, again, the experience of the map for NRG Academy is 0. So this round may not trigger a timeout, but the one after, if they don't find a way to find a win these next 2, I have to imagine that we're going to talk about this pretty early on.
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of defaulting to these executes, but they're not really utilizing their comp the way that they should be with a lot of that information gathering. So I wonder if that's going to change at all, if they're going to adapt that maybe next round. But this round, again, a little bit of a weird buy. You only have that one Phantom Vandal on Chloric and everyone else just trying to get up close and personal. But with the Waylay and the Bucky, we've seen this open up rounds a lot of times.
Indeed, and how about it? You talk about opening it up, there it is. Shondex also connects on to Mitch, up close and personal with the Sheriff, so that'll work. Okay, just use the Waylay. That's as easy as it is, I guess. Defense trying to scramble over through tower side, but Renz is watching the ropes and wants more. Wow, and why not? I guess you've got the Bucky, you may as well use it. There's the isolate, and yep, there will be another one to connect. Zerona down to 16 HP, nowhere to go. And NRG Academy, that's a little more like it. Spin it up, hit the 1s and 2s, NRG on the board.
That's a lot more decisive of a round. NRG really bringing it back on board, showing that they can play at that super fast tempo if they need to. The only thing that they have to do is set up Renz for success, and they did. Ash touched a little bit on the desk about how they don't have flashes, so they have to use a lot of that other utility, like the salvo to clear corners and the dart to make sure that that person backside's a little bit distracted, and just sending Renz in for success. And now we're going to see that same pace heading towards mid, blocking that Viper Orb. But Pancake still no ability to opt down this mid line.
Okay, whoa. Shot lands for Pancakes. NRG Academy showing force up top on tower. Nice flash from Zerona. Oh my goodness, the timing was so beautiful. Renz had absolutely nowhere to go after the commitment in. And EG say, all right, we see you. Try to hit aggressive, try to push us off the site. We'll give you a little bit of space at the front doors and then contest you from the backside of the site where some of that utility is just a little bit less guaranteed to land.
Slow working into this A site here, but they need to get numbers. Down on these numbers, it's almost near impossible to play a post plant like this.
Unless Giza can get you a couple here. No, not going to happen. So Chloric is going to try to step up. There's the refract back. Heads on to Swivel. Nearly an opportunity for a transfer for Chloric, but we'll only have the first of what needed to be about 3. So EG will run forward. And we'll try to make this as punishing as possible, but gets caught, blindsided, stunned with another. And that will be convergent pads now available. Tour de Force should be, I'm sure, elected into getting. No, they're gonna give that to Jake for the Cosmic Divide charge, and we'll go into EG's control, now still extending into the second part of this half.
Yeah, for NRG, it's looking a little bit rough. I think they have to use that drone and find out that operator from Pancakes. I mean, him getting one in the middle at the beginning of the round in middle was not the best because Shondex, he got caught off guard. They didn't have those smokes to play around with, and immediately the mid split was called. NRG taking this timeout exactly like you called it, because this is their rifle round that they have to win so they don't get snowballed with all these rounds once again, ruining their economy. Feels like it's really the tail of this economy thing for both of these teams now. So far in this series, Stunna, he does have his Waylay online. Jake and Zerona, 2 off of theirs, and Pancakes, he has that operator, does not need to get his ult online just yet. And I'm thinking for EG, their defense is looking really stunning. The rotates are super quick. They're really good at getting that mid-round information. And again, Pancakes on the chamber is just enabling them so much.
And now that we start to talk about things like scopes, operators, or tour de forces, mid-map becomes so much more treacherous for NRG to have to work around. It's just like the eco flip makes that essentially a null point. Like, you either have to flood it and hope you can take away angles to get some control and force the defense to be separated, or you have to kind of give it up and not sacrifice lives on a comp that really does rely on enabling Rens. Like, you kind of need everybody on these executes to give them some help. So it just, again, the narrative shift is pretty dramatic just based on how things have started. NRG Academy just don't have as many options in their playbook right now due to where they are economically, and more importantly, where they are in terms of battling against EG, who have everything to work with. Could be some quick contact here and a snapback if you're Pancake. Looking for an angle. Does he expect one up close? Doesn't make a difference. He lands on the Giza. Now Mitch's turn. There's the saturate, but Pancakes holds the angle, finds a second, and NRG are stuffed.
That was crazy. Power of teamwork right there, holding it down for Mitch. The stun coming in, but both these players just holding their ground, holding this crossfire. Chloric getting the pick off his stun, and Pancakes trying to get one, but just not able to connect that shot.
Okay, knife will be out. Zerona reveals that everyone's on site. Chloric has earned the Armageddon. Fragment does not get around the corner like it was intended to. Big swing for man, shut down by Zerona. There's the Armageddon right down the front side of the site. Peek comes through. Chloric able to find one, but over the top. Zerona, oh my goodness, he whiffs on the first, but Jake is there to pick things up. And a little rah-rah cheer in the player cam as EG clutch up the round and now go up 5-1.
Yeah, NRG doing a really good job at slowing it down in the middle of that round, even though they were down numbers. But for me, I really want to see NRG just play back to that tempo of going in fast, setting up Rens, because they're getting picked off by Pancakes. They're constantly losing that number the beginning of the round, which felt like it was the name of the game last game as well. So I'm really hoping they kind of realize that this is the pattern that's going on and try to set up for just a really quick execute using that Omen Paranoia and using that Tejo set salvo. And as I say that, it looks like they're setting up towards that B site to do something somewhat quick.
Yeah.
Because that's the adaptation they need. Yeah.
Yeah, both drones, both smokes. Dash on through, make sure no one's on site. Guarantee yourself a post-plant setup. However, null command. You also have Cosmic Divide. Hunter's Fury is called early here for Giza, who gets caught trying to put it away. So Stunna, first blood there. Mitch, good read on where exactly some of the post-planters are. Salvo will push him back with the Paranoia, but null command is out. Stunna playing over towards the ledge. Defense have fully contained NRG Academy on site, but Chloric will still give you one. Flip from Pancakes with Zerona working will open up the backside of the site, and then the taps will also land, leaving it just down to Rens, who only has that Bucky he started the round with. Mitch will hold, and it'll be 6-1, and NRG Academy have not provided a response that we would have liked to have seen post that timeout.
Yeah, EG just showing us why this is their comfort choice in map, because every single thing they did that round was really good protocols. So Jake, he was playing offsite on B. He was playing it for retake. The second that he saw that drone and heard all that noise, he fell back into that link, and we saw the immediate reaction from the players in mid to walk down, get all that information, get contact in B main, and punish the Sova Giza ulting from that A main. It was really well played, super fast protocols from EG. And I think for NRG, they're just one step behind, it seems, in all of these rounds so far.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Stunna, wow. We haven't seen much of this. We've seen actually zero of this. Oh, that's just going to force the hand here. NRG Academy also revealed on the entry, but Sean somehow, some way connects. And Mitch needs to be a little bit careful here. Yeah, because the tall angle on top of the site has been taken. He's hindered, slowed. Salvo getting some damage in, but Mitch still finds one. So now it's down to, can NRG Academy hold on this elbow angle?
One enemy remaining.
No chance, not against the full rifles. Well, Giza nearly gets the lineup opportunity, but EG are so wealthy, they just do not care. 7-1, runaway map 2 right now for EG.
Yeah, this is looking so one-sided, and it just makes so much sense for EG. They don't have to change a thing. The way that they're playing is super good. They're reacting really well off of each other, playing aggressive when they need to, contacting up mid when they need to, and just reacting really well to all the information that NRG is giving them. And for NRG, they're struggling to find those opening picks. E.g., they've read that runs is their winning condition, getting him onto site, and they're just allowing him to get onto site without getting those picks because they know that they have the really quick rotates, the really quick adaptations, and a lot of that util to retake. And here we go, another B hit from NRG, but maybe this time with a little bit of a different face because Senna's actually playing on site.
Yeah, that is the big key difference. Ren, some trouble here. Oh my, just cannot buy an elimination right now if you're NRG Academy. And it goes from bad to worse that quickly. It feels like we have lost the plot here if you're NRG Academy. Flawless round for EG, 8-1 up. No signs of slowing down with bank accounts that make Swiss bankers jealous and 4 ultimates. It's just not great news right now.
Yeah, this is looking not the best. NRG, even their pathing is just really rough to follow up on. Ren's being on top of that site, spotting one, but accidentally stunning himself, slowing himself on the drop down. It's not the best. And again, you don't have a KO flash to react right behind you to help you get that pick. The only thing you have to rely on is your own stun. The Tejo salvo, it can clear those corners, but if they tank it, it still means you have to win that 1v1, and it's just so hard when they have so much utility flooding in and so many players just ready to crossfire and hold each other's hands. This is kind of looking like EG's going to run away with it. And for me, I guess the question is, NRG letting this go through, did they have a really solid game plan, or were they trying to rely on the VODs, or did they just really not want to play another map and were hoping that this one was just going to end up a little bit better for them?
Yeah, whatever it was, didn't cook well. Put it that way.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It has not cooked.
Didn't cook well. I think the comp is just really hard to work with if you're not just working on getting all that information at the beginning of the round, but you're also trying to set up this waylay super quick. It's just not working because EG has already adapted, and now they're forced into this thrifty round. Not much that they can do about it other than just play for their ones.
Yeah, it's never fun to look at the timeline and see what we've played 9 rounds, and 7 of them I think have had plants that have led to defuses. And again, like some of these plants have come by way of like 3v5s or 2v4s. Like you're on site, but the execute is messy. The defense is rotating late with numbers, and they just get the easy retake. But there's something to be told about being a little bit more polished on what your design is execution-wise and it not coming to fruition even after 2 timeouts. So not ideal, to put it plainly. Here comes a little bit of an isolated play as Stunna will be forced to trade. Get you 1, and now a decision to be made of, do you really stay here much longer? This would be bold. Hunter's Fury also called here. Definitely seems a little bit odd considering the numbers advantage, but it works. Can't really fault it if it works as well as it does. 9-1 the count.
I mean, personally, I feel like those ults were a little overkill. They had the round kind of in their grasp already, but I guess just securing that round, they're so far ahead, you know, why not? Getting those picks, using the ults to just deny and solidify their win for this round. And now 2 rounds remaining in the half. 9-1, 8 rounds ahead for EG, and they still have this Astral Wall online as well as Pancakes with the Tour de Force. Using it this round, popping it for that A main formation, and this is the first time we've seen them switch their setup a lot for EG. But NRG abusing this mid information, trying to get whatever they can. But look at this waylay.
And why not? Why not? Has the ability to go back and will. And so now Pancakes can just kind of very comfortably hold this angle, and yep, does take a significant amount of damage, but still gives you the first. And that's just been, again, the name of the game, first blood battle, which has turned into the ability to decide how much you want to commit defensively. But the lurk out of Ange, finding that elim, and then establishing rotational control with the Viper Spit is critical if you can rotate. That's the problem. What a read from EG in the mid round. We know you're here. We saw you. You have to rotate over. Armageddon's forced out. You step up, and Chloric will turn that into make it 3. I was going to say 2, but he's got as much as he needs. Leaves Pancakes by himself. This would be a 1v3. And we're still chailing into it. He doesn't matter if he has to shoot slower. He just needs to hit one shot.
30 seconds left.
And if NRG Academy dropped this one, we could probably start talking about Breeze.
This whole round has been so back and forth, kind of insane. Shondex re-peeking into A main completely dry when we have 2 drones on the roster, and now this 1v1. Pancake so low
10
here.
seconds left.
But, oh no, dude. Give me a break. 1v3 clutch for Pancakes. All of it, tour de force gets 4 in total. 10-1, and this is the last round of the half. And yeah, it did not cook. It did blend, but it did not cook, whatever this first half was for NRG Academy.
Yeah, they really need to figure out what their plan is on defense at least. And it has to be the best solidified plan with some sort of script to even ensure that they have a really solid understanding for this next half, because this half is kind of done. It's kind of over. Even if they win this, a 10-2 half is kind of insane to come back from. And Pancakes, he's been feeling it with the op. Every single one of these players has taken their own initiative on EG's side to walk down or contact or get their own information. Whereas NRG, they're struggling to even play the foundations of their own comp with all that util. Still getting a lot of these dry peaks, and Ange immediately dropping down in mid.
Yeah, this has just been one of those maps that you feel like you're going to pull a sneaky one past EG. You feel like you've got a read on what they want to do because they've played this map a lot so far this stage, but they are going to exit this half 11-1 up with one of the more convincing around the board score lines you're ever going to see. I mean, 7-10 is the closest thing to even that we've got, but Giza's been bullied, Ange has been bullied, Renz has not been able to do anything on those entries. It's just been all around EG all the time.
I can't believe that the one round that NRG won is a thrifty too. Like, that should not be happening. It was that weird buy where they had the shotgun. They enabled Renz, sending him backside towards A, and it worked out really well for them. But again, it was one round. Every other time, EG not afraid to play off, not afraid to retake. Like you said, so many post plants and diffuses in a row because they just know that they can't hold that plant down. And now this pistol, NRG, they have to literally need to win this if they want any chance at getting back into this game.
Even then, the chance feels maybe more towards impossible rather than improbable. Stunna up and into the smoke, looking for timing as soon as his teammates peek from the front to jump into the action, and that will be enough for a couple. So it'll be a 2v4 to try to rebuttal here if you're NRG Academy. Chloric has an angle, but is read perfectly by EG. And this will likely be a 12-1 count with force bias the rest of the way for NRG Academy, which, well, you just don't like the idea of that. And we'll get one more behind this play, but at 5 HP in a dream, this has been as convincing as you're going to see it this stage of the game in Challengers.
Super convincing. EG showing that there's a reason why this map is their comfort pick, and completely steamrolling NRG. This is kind of insane. This scoreline was not expected at all by anyone today. I feel like I thought at least it would be a little bit closer. NRG letting it go through. They have some sort of trap card. Surely they have a playbook that they're trying to go play around, but really it's just so tough to watch. And now this weird broken buy, scraping whatever they can together. 3 sheriffs, Stinger. They're just gonna hope that EG gives them some sort of 1v1s. Yeah. But honestly, the way that EG is playing now, I don't think they will.
I was about to say, you need that for the next 11 rounds, though.
Oh, like, yeah.
Don't get it twisted, friends. This is still...
No. Listen, you win this round. You tilt them a little bit. You snowball a couple ults. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's doable.
You got to give the gambler a chance. NRG are like double or nothing. Like next round takes all. You guys down for
they're
that?
Doubling it and giving it to the next map. That's what it is.
Yeah, doubling it and giving it to Breeze. There you go. LEG are posturing outside B. Some information known by NRG Academy's defense. There's the dash up and over, refracted back as the look wasn't great there for Stunna. Flash doesn't really affect Ange though either, so now the defense can try to hold an angle. Ange looking for timing past this poison screen, but EG gonna back off just a moment, wait for all of this clutter to clear, and then make their approach with a little bit, more friendly pastures in front of them, and that's exactly why. Take the gunfights against the pistols if you can, but a collat headshot comes through for Renz. Gives this a realistic chance for a force by Thrifty, maybe, depending on the eco acquired here for NRG Academy. Spike is collected. We're gonna go 2v2. And it's a quick contest. Oh, and Sean knows, I think that Jake's right underneath him. This comes down to can they isolate the player on top of the site. Now you drop on him at the same time. Jake creating space, not able to cleanly get the shots, and NRG Academy will get a couple of weapons and another chance to keep playing.
We're so back. NRG's so back, baby. They're gonna get the ball rolling here. You ever seen overtime from 12-1?
I don't think I have, I'll be honest with you. I don't think I have.
Nah, we're about to see it. They're gonna show us a masterclass here. No, but that was actually really well played by EG. The beginning of that round, I thought for sure it's gonna go their way. This is gonna be over. They even waited for the Viper Toxic to go down. Once that Viper ran out of that, they then used the dart. They held onto that dart, Mitch, for so long, waited for everything to kind of chill. And they used that to capitalize off of it, but it didn't matter because the trades were there. They gave NRG Academy enough time to rotate. And I don't think they're gonna make that same mistake again. Speeding up a little bit towards the same main. Dart coming in, lots of information. The knife suppressing that Sova. Looking to zoom
here
the
comes
Thirsty.
the shootout. And whoa, EG are actually going to trade that out pretty nicely. That'll get them an opportunity for some weapons, but Mitch is caught in the owl drone. Jake, wow, nice headshot at range. So Stunna will get the Guardian in hand. Jake, low on health, is away from the spike, but you may not need it. Chloric now for the 1v2. Trying to stay alive for another round. 2 low health pools in front of him. Hits the first cleanly. And Jake has nothing but, well, I'll say nothing but a classic, but he's found himself a Vandal. All it takes is one shot from either side at this point, really. But for Jake, you kind of have to hit the headshot. For Chloric, anything will do. And we'll manipulate the map with a couple of smokes in for Jake. 30 seconds to play. Still need the spike.
30 seconds left.
Smoke faints. No problem for Chloric. All right. Don't call it a comeback. No, but don't. But actually don't. Not yet.
No, but like maybe.
But like, no. But like, this still got a but yeah,
like,
big maybe.
perhaps.
Huge maybe.
You know what? Either way, EG, they made this round super close. Once again, a lot of these rounds becoming back and forth. It feels like whenever NRG win a round, it's so close. But when EG win a round, it is so convincing. 4+ players alive almost every single time. And now the rifles are online against this force, against this bonus, and they're not scared again. 5 of these players towards the same main.
I feel like you can almost get trapped in score lines like this, where like, yeah, you just don't do the right things. You get a little bit caught. And how about it? Convergent paths will exchange. Here comes the follow-up. It's a 1-for-1, 4v4 situation. To run on the backside of the site, only able to get one. Now to 3v3. Spike makes its way on, and we have to pause from when his Chloric is still trying to rotate around the back of this. There's a trademark in his way. He will delete that and then re-wrap back into tower. So head up here if you're EG. Mitch, footsteps in front of him, catches one. No widespread for another, so Chloric has a chance to actually hit this through vent side, but doesn't expect there to be 2 there. So now it's just down to the 1v1 between Sean and Payne. And the initial damage is in really for both players, but Sean's gonna try to hold this. Pistol out. Pancakes hasn't committed. Sean's just gonna hold, and NRG Academy will get a 4th. Okay, hold on a second.
I can't believe he stuck that, and I can't believe Pancakes didn't spam. That was crazy. But again, NRG, the rounds they're winning, they're just barely scraping by 1v1, 1v2 almost every single time. But hey, I mean, if this is what it takes for them to get the momentum back into it, then why not? This was kind of crazy. The execute, it was looking really good until Stunna. He was so slow on getting to that backside because of that stun, because of the slow from Waylay. And Zerona trying to trade that as well. It just did not work. And now we're seeing this mid control coming out from EG.
Oh, and Renz slips away over towards the vent. Really good stun. A little bit of trouble locking down the shots, but still able to find one. Stunna trying to follow with the Sheriff. Has a saturate of his own. Pancake Stunna finding the couple of kills that they need. Sean, Renz, last two left on this side of the map, but they will not be able to do enough to, well, maybe stop the play, but hold on. They're going Cloric's direction. He almost wins the round right there by finding two. Instead, Pancakes is prepared, finds the Elim, and we're dealing with now a Shondex 1v3 that has to come out.
This round should not have been the round that EG wins. Shondex, he's got his paranoia. Smokes up in 25 seconds, so maybe he can make something work. But 3v1, it's just so hard. And these players are aware that someone could be behind them. Pancakes up in that heaven, turning around. Spotting Shondex, and just like that, it is over. EG winning this map with conviction.